As the Chicago Bears await the winner, it's the New England Patriots 17-7 at halftime. That's the bad news for Dolphin fans. Last week at this time they were down 14-3 and Cleveland scored to make it 21-3, and yet Miami rallied. Do they have another miracle left, or is New England just too good? You said the Patriots started with the best hand.
Well, Dick, let's go back to our theorem of the card game. Right now Raymond Berry is sitting there with even more chips than he started with. His conservative philosophy, his style is playing perfectly for him. I don't think he's going to change. He can afford to be patient, let his defense do the work, hope for some more turnovers. On the other hand, Don Shula, who already had to play aggressive high-risk football, almost has to play double up and catch up.
Well, he's got Dan Marino, and he'll get the ball first to start the second half. The statistics in the first half were basically even, except for those big turnovers, the 2 fumbles.
Here are those statistics, and of course one that jumps out at you, those 2 fumbles, and that has been a great story for this New England team. They've had 10 takeaways, only 2 giveaways so far during this playoff. And I'll tell you that when you can keep your mistakes low and give the ball up only occasionally, and that's what Berry talked about, error-free football. They have played it. It has been successful. You've got to believe that's what he talked to him about at the half.
Miami with its final word from Coach Don Shula. And Marino and the Dolphins well know their position.
One of the things you have to be concerned about, Dick, we watched a little of the locker room scene last week from Los Angeles. Highly emotional team there. That's New England team weeping and crying, and it was such a great victory for them. They poured out a lot of emotion. Raymond Berry deliberately took some time off, gave his team a couple of days off to try and regroup that emotional energy. They've had a very emotional first half, a very successful first half. Now the key to winning for them, to maintain that emotional intensity through this second half. I wonder how much they have left in those reserve tanks.
30 minutes to the Super Bowl, unless of course we have a sudden death overtime. Tony Franklin to kick it off. Lorenzo Hampton at the other end for Miami. 17-7 as we open the second half. Spins down short. Hampton at the 9. He has some running room. Fumbles, and Greg Hawthorne recovers for New England. Oh my, the turnover table continues to rock in the direction of the Patriots. They are now 13-2 in that takeaway giveaway department in the playoffs.
Don Shula and Chuck Studley both referred to waking up last week after that big 61-yard run to start the second half by the Cleveland Browns. Well, time running out here, and again, it's that hard hit. Raymond Berry, you see the numbers right there. Raymond Berry used that as one of his strategies, one of his keys. We got to strip the football away and take it. Boy, they have done it today.
Craig James, first down, has nearly 10. Hugh Green finally made the stop, and the Patriots with a 17-7 lead could not get a bigger break than stopping Miami on the opening kickoff, recovering the fumble deep in Dolphin territory, where they have recovered 2 other miscues that led to 10 earlier points.
Coming out of that locker room, you establish the momentum of the second half in this first series. Miami, with all its plans offensively and with all its thoughts, suddenly is on defense again.
2nd and 1. Collins, who caught a touchdown pass in the first half, slams to a first down at about the 11. Don Shula undoubtedly thinking what everyone else is in this stadium. You can't turn it over and win the big ones, and he's down in that department, 3 turnovers to none. First down at the 11. Collins for about 4 yards. Bud Brown in on the stop for Miami.
The danger now for this Miami Dolphin defense. Things are getting a little desperate. And occasionally you try and do more than your job. You try and do something extra. You've got to still try and stay within the integrity of the defense and try and force the turnover. But if you start to try and make the big play, you put yourself out of position. You might make the big play for the other team.
Craig James appears to be close to a first down at the 2. And they have rushed the football. Miami's weakness, its Achilles throughout the year, shown again last week when they barely scraped back against Cleveland, a team that rushed for over 250 yards, and the Patriots beating them to the punch on the ground today.
Don Shula said it right after that game. He said when a team like Cleveland averages 6.8 yards per carry, what do you think the New England Patriots are going to do? And indeed, that's exactly what they have done.
The measurement, 3rd and that much. When New England recovered a first quarter fumble at the Miami 20, Nathan fumbling on the first play of the first half, just as Miami has fumbled the ball away on the first play of the second half on its possession. Miami was able to stop the Patriots and force a field goal spot. This is 3rd and inches. Tony Eason. Watch him check that Dolphin defense. Weathers. No touchdown, but very close, it appears, to having the first down. Jackie Shipp leading that hard Dolphin defensive charge.
Raymond Berry talking to Tom Ramsey as quarterback here to signal a play in. Berry calling more and more of the plays himself. Les Steckel did a lot of that early in the season, but now as Eason has returned to the lineup, we might add that Grogan called his own plays while he was quarterbacking. Now they're signal in, and Berry has taken a lot more of that responsibility during the latter part of the year.
He didn't make it. Shipp's defensive play denies the first down, so 4th and the same distance.
Now, having made conservative decisions up to this point, what does Raymond Berry do? I think he's going to go for it. That's interesting, isn't it?
But not out of character. He has been, while conservative, also a gambler all season long. Big play early in this second half. Wide open. Weathers, touchdown. Flag is down. Robert Weathers all alone. A flag is down in the end zone. It could be. No, it is not. It's against Miami. Touchdown will stand, and the Patriots, ever closer, have opened a 23-7 lead.
Chuck Studley can only shake his head as his defense again fooled on a play, faking into the line. The running game again making that play go. You have to respect it down there with inches to go, and Berry willing to go with the unusual play, the play action pass in 3rd and inches.
Franklin has the extra point. Tony Eason has thrown touchdown passes of 1 and 2 yards. 3 fumbles have equaled 3 scores for New England.
You've either got to be a little crazy to take a long trip in a small truck, or you got to have the right truck. If you go drive one of these new Mazdas, you'll never know how good a small truck can be. This SE5 is really a kick to drive. It's got all kinds of room inside. It's quiet and quick. And even though its price might lead you to believe it's some kind of bare-bones truck, believe it or not, what you see is what you get.
Yeah, and there's plenty of room back here for what you got today, Mr. Garner.
Who helps transportation companies improve health care for their employees and still control costs? Today's Equitable, your key to financial opportunity. Who helps growing communications companies finance new systems? Today's Equitable, your key to financial opportunity. Whether you're the head of a growing business or a growing family, our unique financial services can help you. Your key to financial opportunity.
Lots of people going to Florida choose a rent-a-car company by comparing rates.
Hello, what's your rate? Uh-huh. What's your rate? Yeah, what's your rate?
But these days, everyone offers low rates in Florida, so it pays to compare services.
What do you get for that? Uh-huh. What do you get? What do you get?
Hertz offers computerized driving directions, 24-hour road service, and there's never a drop-off charge in Florida. So come to Hertz. The services add up, but your bill won't. Hertz, you don't just rent a car, you rent a company.
Today's game is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. The more you look, the more you like Mazda value. By Coors and Coors Light, beers with a difference worth tasting. And by Hewlett-Packard, the people who turn your business computing problem into a business computing solution.
New England Patriots capitalizing on a third fumble recovery have opened a 24-7 lead against the Dolphins here in Miami. And Tony Franklin roots it high. Hampton, the rookie, at the 20. And to the 24-yard line. Miami will begin there. Let's go to Bob Greasy.
Dick, here is Weathers lined up in the backfield. He's just going to run a play-action pass. Ramsey's going to sneak out, but Senline, 51, is grabbing a hold of him. And you know, sometimes when you're so predictable and conservative as Raymond Berry has been this year, and if you do a lot of self-scouting, you can use that to your own best efforts because you know you're conservative and you know the other team doesn't expect it, and then some big plays can come of it.
Berry, the only one not showing emotion on the sidelines. That's true to character. Marino, a lot of work to do. One hops it out to Nat Moore, and the reason why the pass was short was Don Blackman, 55, was on his chest.
You can afford to play more aggressively now on defense. Now this Miami team is, as we said, really got to double up and catch up. Time becomes a factor. You feel more comfortable defensively, you can start to blitz more, and this Patriot defense is not a blitzing defense, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them coming more now at Marino with that nice cushion.
Marino has been sacked once. Batted in the air and almost intercepted by Blackman again, and he's having a big game.
There's Rod Rust, defensive coordinator, signaling his defense is onto the field. And interestingly, in his own way, he may be the man responsible for getting Berry into this coaching job.
Well, that's right. Ron Meyer was fired because he wanted to fire Rust.
Well, he actually fired Rust. The players revolted, had a meeting. Meyer ended up being fired. They brought in Berry and brought back Rust.
Duper. Oh, touch 4-5, sets of hands before it falls incomplete. A flag is down.
Looked like a volleyball game out there.
Motion against Miami. Now the Dolphins unable to gain a yard in that possession.
I think that ball is going to be batted about 4 or 5 times. The first bat by Marino, or by Duper as he goes up. That's 1. Lepet 2 off the helmet there. Marion 3, 4. Well,
it falls just out of the reach of a lot of eager Patriots. Roland James back at the 32. Roby. Dying spiral. James fumbles. And the Dolphins have recovered. A flag is down. Bud Brown recovered the ball. Let's see if it counts.
May have been a question.
There's the first mistake by New England. Let's see how it picks up Miami.
We mentioned at the top of the show that New England would probably be able to overcome Irving Fryer's loss as a receiver, but not as a punt returner. The confidence level right there of the return team. That's Roland James. Only 2 punt returns on the year coming up. And in a situation where he could have just caught it and tucked it away, he turned it over.
Oh, Miami gets a break at the 43, trailing 24-7 with 11 minutes plus remaining in the third quarter. Joe Carter, the second-year man from Alabama. What a run by Carter to the 24.
Well, these fish ain't dead yet, as they would say here in Miami. Carter pulls out of a tackle by Nelson, gets away from McGrew, number 50. Got a whole host of Patriots on his tail, but ends up with a big game and lights up this Miami offense a little bit.
Carter, who had a 12-yard run in the first half, and now an 18-yard scamper. Boy, did he deny some tackling. Marino to Davenport. And the big fullback is to the New England 17, where it'll be 2nd and 3 or 4 to go.
You see the power of Davenport. That was illustrated last week as he made that big 31-yard run, bouncing off people. Watch him here as he pulls away from Steve Nelson, who's a deadly tackler. Look at that leg strength. Gets away from Nelson and almost from Roland. Makes the big gain on that play. Second, about 3.5 yards.
Offense on the sidelines. Tony Collins of the Patriots. He has a touchdown, a 4-yard pass. Easton with 1, 2, and 4-yard passes for the Patriots for scores. 2nd and short. Marino into the end zone. Intercepted. Fred Marion. And Marion, who has an interception in each of the playoff games, has made it a hat trick. 3 for 3. And the Dolphins denied again.
Shula wondering what happened on that play, literally staring out in disbelief.
His receiver fell down, but I don't think he could have caught it anyway because the ball was right to Marion.
Clayton coming to the inside, and watch him as he trips over his own foot. I think Lepet maybe touched the back of his foot.
An idea doesn't conform to a 9-to-5 schedule. So at Hewlett-Packard, we're always thinking. Because even though we sell business computing systems, what we really do is solve problems. We never stop asking, what if?
Jim, Mike, I've got an idea on that branch office network. What if we connect all their PCs using a payment switch?
The more things cost, the better they are. That's not always true. Consider Barbasol. Barbasol has as thick and rich a lather as any other leading foam, but Barbasol can cost half as much as the higher-priced foams. Consider also Barbasol Glide Stick Deodorant. It has a fresh, clean scent like any deodorant should, but Barbasol can cost as much as $1 less than the high-priced sticks. Barbasol Shave Cream and Barbasol Glide Stick. Great toiletries for a lot less money.
My daughter came out to visit, and the guys at Mazda lent me this 323 for her to drive. She knew right away it wasn't just another small car, because it's more like a small road car. Smooth, quiet, solid, and roomy. I even told her if she wanted to get one with her own money, what a good deal it is. I'm really glad she's grown up to be sensible and practical, just like her old man.
Yeah, right, Dad.
Moments ago, Don Shula. A lost opportunity. The first chance for Miami to get back in it, and they throw an interception right back. It's New England's ball at the 25, Bob.
You talk about tight jaws. You saw him right there.
Bob Greasy, that interception
Dick, let's go back and take a look. Miami is trying to get the ball on a slant right here in this area to Clayton. Now watch Marion. He's going to drift over there. If we could go ahead and run the play. Watch as Clayton goes in there. If you can stop it right there, you can see that he tried to get it beyond there. He tried to hit it past Marion. Marion stopped right in the path of the ball.
There's the trip. You'll see it right there. The foot coming in. Lepet, look at that. Just a tap on the back of the heel. Incidental contact, but it cost the interception.
Craig James plowing straight ahead, and good yardage again for New England on first down. Second down, that will be a first down out to the 37.
Dick, in talking to both Duper and Clayton, it was their feeling that the officials in that Cleveland game not calling nearly as many penalties downfield, giving the defensive men more latitude. Let's look in at the battle on the line of scrimmage, that surge. And again, New England taking advantage of its size, going right at the heart of that Miami defense. Charles moved out of there by Wooten, the left or the right guard. Brock up to pick up one of the linebackers. Hanna driving out of there. Holloway, and boy, I tell you, they just keep pushing and pushing more. That whole offensive line driving Miami off of the ball.
Rain falling in Miami's Orange Bowl. Less than 8 minutes left in the third quarter. New England with a handsome lead as Collins carries out to the Patriot 40. Doug Betters made the tackle. No question, we expected the Patriots to outrush the Dolphins, and Miami was hoping. In fact, Doug Betters said we're going to try to hold them to 4 yards or less per rush. Not so. Second down and 7. A long 7. Collins squirts for 4. Hugh Green with a hit.
It's such a big advantage for running backs when their offensive line is getting into the defense and moving them off the ball. There's time then for them to get their good drive upfield and make the cuts from a positive position, to make them at full speed. The defense, on the other hand, having to try and react laterally. You end up trying to arm tackle. It gives those offensive backs a chance to go for an extra 2 or 3 yards.
Well, they had bettered their average, the 6th best in the league on the ground, and we still have 20-plus minutes left. Craig James running to daylight, and a first down at the 43 of Miami.
Well, we've been talking about that Patriot offensive line. 3 first-round draft picks on the left side of the line. Holloway, Hanna, and Brock. Hanna driving his man back off the ball. Holloway getting a piece of his, and James just exploding through there. Out of the tackle by Bud Brown. Out of a second tackle by Judson. Makes the extra yardage.
Jackie Shipp, who made the tackle, limps off the field for the Dolphins. Mark Brown has replaced him. No, Jay Brophy goes in. First down at the 43. 6 minutes left in the third quarter, and the Patriots lead 24-7. Weather stopped on first down. Bob?
Merlin and Dick, you're talking about the blocking up front of the offensive line. Let's go back to that last play and watch the straight blocking. Hanna right here and on the linebacker, and you'll see James finding a little hole right in between here and running right up through. James, with the good eyes and good feet, has the ability to get through the hole after a good block by Tony Collins.
James said something very nice to me last week in talking to him. He said, you know, I don't run with my feet, I run with my eyes. My feet just kind of follow along behind. You're right, Bob. Great eyes on the part of James on that play.
Weathers carrying his 222 pounds to the Miami 40. Hugh Green and Mark Brown with the tackle. That's a colorful stop. Green and brown, and a Blackwood there as well.
You see Hugh Green going to that face mask, an eye injury early in the year, and he has a clear mask across his face. Steve Nelson, in fact, wore an identical mask during several games this year after an eye injury. And I haven't talked to Hugh about the mask, but Steve said something interesting. He said, I got an echo all the time. It sounded like I was talking in a cave.
3rd and 7. Big play for the Miami defense. Eason, a rare throw. And he hits his man, Tupu. It'll be close to a first down at the 34-yard line. Appears to be a little shy.
And again, when your running game is going, when you can force those linebackers and those linemen to concentrate on the run, you've got time to throw the football. Linebacker isolated there. That's Brzezinski trying to get out to the outside to cover Tupu. Tupu, usually the short yardage runner, did a good job of hauling that one in.
And on 4th down and a yard, again, Berry going to go for it. He went for it on 4th and goal.
There are some interesting stats. Before Grogan played, look at the numbers for Eason, and then look at the numbers after Grogan was hurt. He has had a great last half of the season.
Weathers on the pitch. It's going to be close. Miami fans think that he was stopped. New England fans feel that he has made the first down, and it's the Patriots who are right again.
Dick, maybe we can, as we look again at the hard jaws of Don Shula, maybe we can go back and get that statistic again, because I really think it's interesting. One of the things that really helped Tony Eason after a bad start on the season, and he was dealing with his 3rd offense in 3 years, Berry putting in his own offense, he had a chance to watch this man, Steve Grogan, go in and run the offense. Look at those latter numbers, the reversal in touchdowns and interceptions. A lot of that, I think, came because Eason was able to get himself calmed down and able to learn by watching.
On the ground, and that figures now for the Patriots with a big lead. He's trying to chew up that clock, and it ticks away against Miami. 3:33, 3:32, 3:31 left in this 3rd quarter. The Patriots with a 24-7 advantage.
Gain of 3 yards, 2nd and 7.
The only Miami touchdown came in the 2nd quarter when the Dolphins took a 7-3 lead. It was Marino to Dan Johnson. But 4 turnovers have not only stopped the Dolphins, but New England has taken advantage on 3 of those for a score, and trying to do that now on this pass interception that started this drive. Collins plowing for 6 or 7 to the 24. Just shy of another first down.
Brzezinski on the tackle.
First turnover, a fumble led to a field goal. Then the next 2 fumbles became touchdowns. Those fumbles recovered by New England were at the Miami 20, the Miami 36, the Miami 25. The last one on the kickoff to start this 2nd half. Then when the Dolphins finally got one of their own, Marino was intercepted by the omnipresent Fred Marion. Always seems to be in the right spot.
Oh, that ball has been in his hands in the several key games. Seattle game last week, the week before. He really has been something.
Collins is denied the first down, and the Dolphins say they got the football, but too late. He was already down.
Brzezinski again reaching to strip that football and got his hands on it, got it away from the running back. It's the 2nd time we've seen him reach in and take that ball right out of the grasp of a running back. Coming in from the left side of your screen, watch number 59. Here he comes. As he gets in there, he'll reach up underneath and jerk that football out of it, out of the hands of Tony Collins. You see him there. That's just powerful hands. Linebackers in particular will work long hours on those wrists and the hands.
Tony Franklin with an apparent 41-yard field goal attempt. If successful, it would be a 3-touchdown lead for New England. It is no good. Wide to the left. One of the few things Dolphin fans have had to cheer about in this 2nd half. Timeout, 1:37 left in the quarter.
Nothing clears my head better than a romp down a road like this. If that doesn't make sense to you, then this car probably won't either. The new generation Mazda RX-7 pours out power as smooth as silk, as only a rotary can. And nothing has a more advanced suspension system, so you track through turns like you're on rails. You can pay a whole lot more for a sports car and still not have this much fun.
Say, aren't you the driver of this new RX-7? Hi.
Hi.
This life insurance is for your key executives. It has a...
So Northwestern Mutual's done it again, huh?
Yep.
Their executive comp life will keep our top people happy. Oh? It's a revolutionary policy. Combines the low cost of term with cash value buildup. And I set the premiums.
Introducing Executive Comp Life, an even tougher act to follow from the leader in whole life, the Quiet Company.
John, can you sell that?
No, only in Northwestern Mutual.
John?
That's a big step, Tom.
I'm still gonna go to college, Dad, but after the Army.
I thought you wanted to be an electrical engineer.
I'll be learning about electronics, and I can qualify for the new GI Bill and new Army College Fund.
If you qualify, the new GI Bill and new Army College Fund can help you save over $25,000 for tuition.
So you're going to be a soldier?
Yeah.
Be all that you can be.
And an engineer.
Find your future.
Be a good one.
In the Army.
This winter on NBC Sports, all the excitement of college basketball is back. Next Saturday, one of the game's oldest rivalries heats up when the UCLA Bruins invade South Bend to take on Digger Phelps and the Fightin' Irish of Notre Dame. College basketball, it's the stuff weekends are made of on NBC Sports.
In the rain, Miami's Orange Bowl, a remarkable story being written by the New England Patriots, the long shot Pats, wild card members in this Super Bowl tournament, and they have a 24-7 lead. Time running out, less than 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Tony Eason has thrown 3 very short touchdown passes, 1, 2, and 4 yards. After the missed field goal, this is Joe Carter. A whirling dervish has about 10 more. Carter running like a man possessed. Rod McSwain made the tackle after 9 yards. A key to any team's success, how well you take it away. That's 14 in 3 games. They've given it up only 3 times.
Those numbers are amazing enough, but I think it's the result of those turnovers that we often don't see. And we'll give you an idea of the impact of that in just a moment.
Carter now with 41 yards, 2nd and short. Marino goes to the shotgun. Has to throw too soon. Duper on a deep pattern, hadn't quite turned, but Marino was about to get hit, so had to unload.
I asked Raymond Claiborne about those 2 wide receivers. I said, are they alike to cover? He said, almost identical. He said they have some of the same breakaway moves from the line, some of the same moves downfield. He looked at me and said, I think Nat Moore taught him all of this. And he said, I think he learned from Paul Warfield. Here's that break off the line. Good receivers are tough to stop at the line of scrimmage. And there's the break, but Marino simply did not have time. Had he been able to wait, I think Duper would have been open, might have gotten it in there to him.
3rd and 1. And Carter does have the first down at the 35-yard line. Or is that Tony Nathan? Let's see if the veteran's back in there. They lead by that amount, 17 points.
Directly out of those 4 Dolphin turnovers, they have put 17 points on the board today. Oh, that is a wonder. Not only does a turnover change the emotion of the game, but very often, as we've seen today, gives you that ideal field position, Dick.
Final minute, 3rd quarter. Miami won't have too many possessions. It's almost you must score every time out for Marino. Carter. Oh, he's tough to bring down. 41-yard line. He may be building himself a job for the future. Right now, the future is only 15 minutes for these 2 teams. One will go on to the Super Bowl against Chicago. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Tonight, 7 young soldiers facing war for the first time. If it isn't the last morning of their lives, it's going to take a miracle to save them. Amazing stories.
This year, Federal Express is going to Europe. And to help celebrate, we've invited everyone who's ever been in a Federal Express commercial.
Accustomed as I am to public speaking, I would just like to say this certainly is a momentous occasion. I am certainly moved by it all. And it's
We're going to make sending a package to Europe as easy and reliable as it is here, with 2-day service in our own planes to London, Paris, Frankfurt, Zurich, Amsterdam, and Brussels. Federal Express to Europe. Why fool around with anyone else?
How's it feel when the game is on the line? It is up to me.
Come on, bro. We only need one now. Come on.
Come on, Bob, just shoot the ball. You can do it. Come on, one more.
Oh, man. I've been here 1,000 times. Settle down. Come on, ball. Come on.
Sports Illustrated. Get the feeling.
What do you do when you already build one of the best production sports cars in the world? If you're Nissan, you build it even better. You widen the track, reduce air turbulence, dramatically improve its already legendary handling and performance. No wonder Motor Trend magazine called this new 300ZX the best all-around Z car ever built. When you're talking performance, the name is Nissan.
This week on Strictly Business, Hidden Risks of Ginnie Maes, tonight, 11:45.
Under normal conditions, that five-time Pro Bowler wears number 73 and would be in there pacing like a lion as we were away on that last commercial break. Baumhauer out for the year with a knee injury, and they hope he'll be back next season.
Standing on the sideline, you feel so helpless, too.
As Ken Sims, brilliant young defensive tackle for the Patriots, must feel, but it's a little easier when you're head 24/7.
Much easier. You see him flexing that leg, and I'm sure he's thinking, boy, if this leg will just get a little bit better, I'm going to be able to get back in there and play before this season is over.
We open the fourth quarter, 24-7 New England. It's a 2nd and 4 for Marino. Going deep for Clayton. And he was well covered. Ernest Gibson was with Clayton stride for stride. A reminder, we will be naming our Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game a bit later.
You saw the results on one side of the field. Let's go to the other side of the field where Duper is working one-on-one. Little fake to the out and a little tug right there. Raymond Claiborne almost undressing Mark Duper. The official downfield did not spot that one. Jerked his shirt so hard the shoulder pad popped out.
Patriots have been tough in the second half, their defense. And they've shut out Miami thus far in this one. 3rd and 3.5. Incomplete. Tony Nathan covered well by Don Blackman, and what a game Blackman has had. Well, I've said all along, if it weren't for Tippett, this would be the man that everyone would be headlining, and he's shown that today. And Miami unable to pick up the first down.
One of the patterns that Marino thought would be very effective against this defense is working underneath in front of those linebackers. But Blackman, with great speed and good hands, reaching right out in front to knock that ball away.
Roland James back as Roby kicks. Drives the ball to the 10. Fumble. Miami. Who has it? Dolphins. Miami had a couple of shots at it before they finally cover at the 10. And the only 2 mistakes by New England have been by Roland James trying to field punts. And, of course, an unfamiliar task for him this year.
Special teams coach Dante Scarnecchia was worried about this. He said there's no question James has to be rusty. We want him just to secure that football. Any yards are just a plus here. Most importantly, they're giving us the football on a punt. We don't want to give it back. Credit a good hit. Alex Moyer, 54, the first man to reach in and knock that ball away.
They could actually make a first down without a touchdown just by an inch or 2. Marino shotgun, wants to get it on the board in a hurry. He's got it. Tony Nathan. Exactly what Miami had to have, a 5-second touchdown drive.
Denied early in this ball game and feeling frustrated, I'm sure. Tony Nathan must feel a little bit vindicated right now.
Reves try for point. It is good, and the Dolphins have cut the lead to 10 with almost a full quarter left. What a big play. The fumble by James. The next play, Marino hits Nathan from 10. 14 minutes, 28 seconds left.
Give me a light. No. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer,
Thanks.
you never know what you'll get.
Nah, give me a light. No, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
There's something special on the horizon. American Airlines Ultimate Super Savers. Incredible low fares to over 90 cities throughout the continental U.S. and Canada. Discounts up to 70%. Fares from $29 to $151. Call American Airlines for an Ultimate Super Saver before another day passes you by.
We're American Airlines, something special in the air.
Are you anything like my brother Jack? He figured the only way to get into a serious road car was to go empty his bank account and buy something from the Black Forest. Well, I talked him into driving a Mazda 626. Now he's going around telling everyone he knows about refinements, like the better aerodynamics, the new fuel injection, and the great performance. But the way I figured, I saved old Jack about $7,000. You think I'll ever see any of it?
No way.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I think it was Black.
Dolphins get a gift from heaven. A quick fumble recovery, a 10-yard touchdown in 5 seconds. When New England would have had the ball and a 24-7 lead, suddenly 24-14.
I would look for an onside kick possibly here. That's something that Miami has done earlier in the year. Nope, they got it out of there.
A short kick, Stephen Starring at the 12. He's wrapped up in a hurry at the 23. Woody Bennett, and looked like Brzezinski there too.
Dick, you know, the New England defense has played well all day, but here they make a mistake. McGrew is blitzing. Now Nathan is going to sneak out of the backfield in this area. Blackman goes out instead of covering his man. The New England defense playing well all day, not coordinating it right here. As you see Nathan slip to the middle and wide open for the touchdown.
And now this colorful crowd gathering itself in support of Miami.
That touchdown brought them back into this ball game.
Tutupu. Color combination again, brown and green on the tackle.
Dick, we wondered why Raymond Berry had them turn up those sound on those speakers so loud. Now we know.
Two short gains, and now third down and 4 for New England. 13.5 minutes left. Dolphins cannot afford New England first downs because they're going to chew it up, the clock that is, on the ground. New England has not won here 18 straight seasons. Incomplete. Weathers had it and could not tuck it away.
companies rent you a car. And that's it. But Hertz is with you all the way, with customer service representatives to speed you on your way. Computerized driving directions to help you find your way, and 24-hour road service in case you get stuck on the way. So you have a choice for your money. You can rent from a company that just gives you a car, or rent a car that gives you a company. Hertz, you don't just rent a car, you rent a company.
Once there were two bears, a big bear
I'll have a Coca-Cola Classic.
and an even bigger bear.
Give me a case, Coke.
This bear loves the big, bold taste of Coca-Cola Classic, the original. And this bear loves the light, smooth taste of Coke, because it goes down real easy.
How about another? Yeah, another case. Another case? You gotta keep a lot of Coke in the refrigerator.
Coke and Coca-Cola Classic.
You finally get the answer, and now you can't wait to tell someone. Here at Hewlett-Packard, we never stop thinking about how our business computing equipment can be used to solve your company's problems. It's the Hewlett-Packard way of doing things. We're always asking, what if?
I've got it. They need easy access to their database, right? What if we use the Personal Productivity Center?
Today's game is brought to you by John Hancock Financial Services, meeting today's needs with a range of financial products. By Hertz, you don't just rent a car, you rent a company. And by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen and Bob Gracie at the Orange Bowl in Miami. A fumbled punt by Roland James of the Patriots, recovered by Miami at the 10. A quick touchdown has put Miami back in the game, and certainly the Miami fans are back in it. It's 24-14 with 12 minutes, 47 seconds left. Miami's ball at its 37. What a catch. No, he trapped the ball. Is the call. No catch. Raymond Claiborne right there on the sidelines. And Mark Clayton unable to come up with it.
Great battle going on over there. Two experienced pros. Looking at it from the other side of the field, we get a better view of it. Marino with that quick throw. That ball down in the dirt. And I think indeed he had his hand on top of the ball and drove it into the ground.
Carter. Fumble. And I believe Julius Adams has it for New England. He does. The veteran. Carter, who has given the extra effort throughout this game, but you had a feeling when you get hit that many times and bounce around, somebody's going to finally knock it free. And Adams was the man who finally saw that precious pumpkin, and the New England Patriots have it again.
And again, you sense not only the change of the football, but the change of emotion. The ball right there begins to get away from Carter. It's on the ground. Roy Foster, 61, is right on top of it, but it rolls out from underneath him. And there is Julius Carter, or Julius Adams, right there to scoop up the pumpkin.
That was one of those presidents. First down at the 45. 12 and a half minutes left. James. And Jesse Craig James from Houston, Texas, and Southern Methodist University, trying to do something that his former teammate with the Mustangs won't get a chance to do. Go to the Super Bowl. Dickerson stopped by the Bears in Chicago earlier.
I'd like to go back and make a point that I made earlier. One of the priorities that Raymond Berry set as he took over as head coach, he said, we have got to take away the football more often. We're going to do that by practicing stripping the football. And oh, how that has come to be a technique that's paid big dividends for the Patriots.
2nd and 2. James close to a first down.
Brzezinski makes a tackle.
That was back in the American Football League days, only to lose out at Balboa Park in San Diego, 51-10. to the Chargers, who had just recently, at that time, moved from Los Angeles to San Diego.
That is rather a long drought.
Well, 63 may have been the year. Wasn't that the Bears' last championship season? The Bears and the Patriots, the last glory years, were 63 until 1986. James needed to get right to the 35, and that's where he was hit. It'll depend on the spot. Carter, perhaps that old expression in sports, stay within yourself, trying to do too much, and the fumble. And the sage veteran Adams, who said earlier this year this would be his last, that he would retire at the end of the season, go to his Macon, Georgia home and farm and raise black Angus cattle. He said, but I don't want to go home too soon.
They've been trying to talk him out of that retirement announcement. He has had a remarkable year.
James did get the first down, and with it usually comes about 3 more minutes off the clock if you're running it. Kim Bocamper wraps up James after a yard gain at the 34.
One of the loneliest feelings in the world is the sense of having made the costly mistake. There's Hampton talking to his young friend in the backfield saying, hey, you got to put it out of your mind. A lot of people have made mistakes today, and indeed they have.
But that was the one knock on this talented young runner from Alabama, that he is fumble prone.
It doesn't make you feel a lot better when you've made a big mistake. I can tell you that from experience.
Less than 10 minutes left. That's Collins. Bob Brzezinski. He and Don Blackman of New England, the 2B linebackers for each team, have been absolutely outstanding in this championship game.
Let's see what Raymond Berry has up his sleeve here. Looks like he's got a third wide receiver on the field. In this situation, often during the day and during the playoffs, they have run out of that shotgun formation. Let's see what they do here.
9:20 left. New England has now rushed for 200 yards.
Too many men on the field for Miami, as Betters just barely made it off.
There's the play that worked against the Raiders, and it pays off again today. Collins out of the shotgun. That was such a big weapon in beating the Raiders in Los Angeles last week, that particular play.
Some confusion on the defensive side for Miami. No confusion there. They simply hand the ball off. That's Ron Wooten, 61, leading. They ran right past Bocamper, ran out of the attempted tackle by Blackwood, and Tony Collins has a big first down.
One would surmise that a touchdown here by New England would get them to the Super Bowl. A field goal, should Miami stop them, would keep it at least within long range of the Dolphins. James battling for a couple. Might have 3. Hugh Green in on another stop. Shula knew the one problem he had all season long is the one that is shown again today. Defense versus the run.
The one thing that a good running game does for you, and when you can establish it the way New England has, is to keep the opponent's offense on the bench. And I'll tell you, one of the best defenses against Miami is to keep Marino sitting down as long as possible.
2nd and 7. James, what a move! Fred James out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Everything stacked up inside, and James, using that great vision, has a 1st and goal at the 1. 108 yards today for James.
Bob Gracie talked about it earlier. The eyes. James seeing the opening to the outside, and then has the quickness and the acceleration to get there. William Judson getting a good tackle there. Look at number 24 Weathers throwing a fine block right there on 55 Hugh Green. Green must contain from the outside on that play, and that's what James saw to take advantage of it to the outside.
Mosey to Tupu. Touchdown. just 7.5 minutes late. Even a great quarterback on an outstanding team is going to have trouble making up that deficit. It's 30-14.
New England Patriot fans have felt all year that their team was not getting enough respect. Believe me, they have earned the respect of the entire league and the entire country, winning on the road against the Jets, winning on the road against the Los Angeles Raiders, and apparently winning here to end the last of those big jinxes.
Tony Franklin adds the extra point. Mosi Tutupu, the 30-year veteran from Southern California. A moment that he'll file in his album as he puts his team ahead 31-14.
I never felt older in my life. Yesterday, I was a football player. Today, I'm retired. How do I want to be remembered? As a good father, as a good husband, and that's it. That's life, and that's what life is.
A new company has begun, yet it has a 150-year history. It's only a few days old, but it's already the #1 manufacturer of medium and heavy-duty trucks. Although you've never heard of it, it's in the top quarter of the Fortune 500. The company is Navistar International, and while it's just starting to roll, it's already in high gear. Introducing Navistar, the rebirth of International Harvester.
Miami Dolphins favored, but in a hole by 17 with just 7.5 minutes left as New England's Franklin will kick it off. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Miami Dolphins and the National Football League is prohibited. Dying quail. That'll be a good kick. Lorenzo Hampton to the 20. It's been 20 years since New England has beaten Miami here in Miami. And what has happened to all of us in that 20-year period of time? Prices have gone up a bit. And for the New England Patriots, at average income $25,100, they'll make much more than that just in their playoff activity. Tony Eason, his role limited, and he's played it well, like a good part player in theater. He's only thrown the safe passes. He's not thrown an interception in 3 playoff games, and he apparently is going to lead his team into the Super Bowl. But now Marino has his say. This is what it is worth. The wild card was worth to New England $6,000, then $10,000 for the win last week, $18,000 for each team today.
Guaranteed. That's all guaranteed up to that point.
Then the winner gets 36 and the loser 18 in the Super Bowl. So you can just except for the 6,000, the Chicago Bears have those numbers as well. But that isn't really what counts right at this point.
Well, they will be happy to accept those checks, but believe me, the greatest joy for them here will be whipping a jinx that has dogged them all.
Clayton, tough catch. Raymond Claiborne, no, that was Rod McSwain, number 23 on him. It took a circus effort by Clayton to get those 15 yards. 7 minutes left in the game. 4 fumbles have led to 24 of the points. Tony Nathan to 50-yard line and 15 more yards. And you can see how well coached this Miami team is. They are wasting no time, even though there's over 6 minutes left. They're going to spend every second wisely. They have to. A lot of teams are a little careless. Guys not getting up to the line of scrimmage in time. This is Nat Moore. And the veteran has almost enough for another first down. May have it at the 40.
This makes it tough on a defense, too, to operate without a huddle. If the Miami team can sustain this, they can wear out a defense a little bit. I know that New England defense, that New England offense, they all have to be emotionally drained after the tough road games they've been through, Dick.
Going for it all. He's got a man open. And good rallying by Claiborne. And there's the veteran from the University of Texas showing why he's a Pro Bowler. Beaten by a step and a half. He got back and foiled the attempt by Marino.
Oh, you need that speed. Look at him dogging right there, watching the eyes and knowing when to turn around. Knowing when to turn around. I think Clayton having to adjust to that football. That was the signal that he was looking for. Claiborne able to turn back and bat that football away.
Miami needs 3 scores, which obviously means 3 possessions, and thus Marino must score on this drive.
I mentioned that Marino had been held under 200 yards 5 times on the year, twice by New England. He needs one more good pass to go over 200 today.
There it is. And that'll be near another first down. Joe Rose makes the catch. Roland James with a hit. 10 more yards.
One thing I know about Don Shula, I don't think there's a coach that I've ever been around who hates losing more than Shula. And believe me, I wouldn't want to be a part of the locker room and a part of the off season of a team that lost in a game that he really felt that they could win.
Well, if he is not successful today, his perfect record in this title game will be gone. He's 5-0 coming in, and that 18-game winning streak at home against New England will be gone. Here's Joe Rose again making that catch, and he pays for it.
Roland James tipping Rose all the way to the ground. Rose had knee or shoulder problems all of last year. He's had foot problems, as we mentioned. Has not been practicing this week.
First down at the 30. You saw the clock starts right after that measurement. Tony Nathan ridden down by Marion after a gain of 6. But the clock rolls. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Patriot defense has done a good job of playing within themselves. Their philosophy very simple. We keep the play in front of us. Rod Russ signaling in his defense. He said the closer you are to the line of scrimmage, the more aggressive you can play. We don't want the highly aggressive plays way back in the secondary.
That's complete.
And there you see the result of it. You notice that the defensive backs are laying off a little bit. They'll sacrifice yardage for time here.
Duper does a wise job. No one touches him, so he's able to roll out of bounds and save precious seconds. He's down, but not touched, and gets out of bounds and stops the clock.
Bright play, and that's something that you've got to have. You've got to save those seconds.
4:55 left. The score 31-14 New England. It's going to take something special for New England not to win. But this is a special player. Oh, Claiborne. That was thrown right into his mitts. Not a wise throw by Marino. Claiborne, good coverage in front of Nat Moore.
Dan Marino's confidence sometimes gets him in trouble. He'll throw into the coverage believing that his arm can beat the coverage. Not true here. Claiborne dropping off his man Duper to come back in and just about take that football away from the receiver.
2 receivers much closer than they should have been on that pattern. That allowed Claiborne to leave his man and come in. Flags are down. Free play for Marino. And there's Claiborne again, swatting it way up into the crowd. It appeared the Patriots were offside. Were they drawn?
I believe that Marino, with that sharp barking count, had drawn them off sides. Let's see if anyone on the Miami side moved.
Gene Barth, the referee, over 80 years of NFL experience in this quality crew. And they've had a good game.
We're going to false start on number 72.
Oh.
The whistle is blown before the snap. Please put 4 seconds back on the clock.
So there is no play. It's a 5-yard penalty, but Miami also saves it down, as that's an automatically dead ball. They add 4 seconds to the clock.
Ronnie Lee, right tackle, the man who apparently moved before that ball was snapped.
Chicago Bears played both these teams in the regular season, beating New England at Soldier Field and losing their only game of the season down here on a Monday night when Miami prevailed 38-24. Clayton. Joe Rose also in the area.
Rod McSwain on that particular play, dropping off and then coming back up to make the hit. But look how they have forced Marino to throw underneath today. He got one long pass earlier, I believe, to Mark Clayton. Everything else under 19 yards. They have forced him to go underneath, to be patient, and in the process have been able to force the mistakes that have given them the football.
3rd and 15 in a must-score situation for Miami. And again, Claiborne makes the fine play on Duper. Raymond Claiborne showing his considerable skill. Now a flag goes down. Is it against the Dolphins?
It's against Duper for throwing his helmet. He lost his cool down there. Claiborne simply made an outstanding play at the end of it. We didn't see what happened earlier, but Duper is going to be penalized for throwing his helmet. And as that helmet hit the ground, everything came out of it. All the padding just bounced right out of it. Boy, you can't lose your cool on the field.
Conduct, 15-yard penalty on number 85 offense for throwing the helmet. It is doing continuous action. The down count. It's 4th down.
Well, it's after the play. The down counts.
So it'll be 4th and 30 for Miami.
I'll tell you the other thing.
4th and
How in the
25.
world is Duper going to put that helmet back on with no ear pads and no padding in it? Watch the play. At the end of the play, that's what Duper was mad about. Clayton did whack him on the arm before the play.
Should have been a penalty.
It should have been a penalty. Now watch the hat here. He's going to throw it to the ground, and that got him the penalty right there. I think the official may have been blocked from that initial swat on the arm by Duper's body.
So now 4th down and Biscayne Bay to go for the Dolphins. Duper again intercepted by Claiborne. And Raymond Claiborne completes a cycle of superb coverage as he picks off the pass, the 6th turnover of the game for the Patriots. And are they whooping it up in grand old New England? The Patriots, always a quality team, great players, and Raymond Berry has made them believe that they are what they have proved to be, a great team.
If you just ask for a light beer,
Give me a light.
you never know what you'll get.
Dogs. No, actually, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, ask for Bud Light.
Yours? No.
Because everything else
Give me a light.
Showtime.
is just a light.
If you visited all the places some nationwide long-distance companies don't serve, you'd be on the road a long time. There are a lot of services you take for granted with AT&T that most companies don't have, like calling from anywhere to anywhere, operator service, and immediate credit for wrong numbers. Looks like most companies still have a long way to go to measure up to AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound. AT&T, the right choice.
January's champions take to the ice. Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner, the beautiful Linda Fratiani, the Protopopovs, and everybody's favorite Dorothy Hamill. The gathering begins at the World Professional Figure Skating Championships on NBC Sports World.
If the Super Bowl is the symbol of success and the true victory, that means that the sad part of the whole tournament is that 28 teams start and 27 finish as losers. And the frustration and the emotions will carry that through the rest of the way with 4:29 left. He's right. He was hit on the arm.
He was hit on the arm.
As he explains to Coach Don Shula. Robert Weathers to the 25, a gain of 5. There's the situation. That was the second game of the season. The Bears beat New England 20-7. And following the game, a talk with their mighty happy head coach Mike Ditka. Oh, how well he represents what George Halas built there in Chicago, the patriarch of the National Football League, and a sensational season. Very nearly a perfect one for the Bears. Only Miami spoiled that, and they've been perfect in the playoffs.
And how often do we see coaches who are successful build teams in their own mold? And I remember well playing against Ditka in a Bear uniform. Pugnacious, aggressive, knock you down and talk about it later. Ditka has created that same kind of image, that same kind of feeling in the Windy City. And with back-to-back defensive shutouts and fine offensive performances, New England, even though they're going to be elated about a victory here, might be thinking about soon about what they're going to have to do in the Super Bowl against Chicago.
Irving Fryer in a domestic scuffle earlier in the week, severing a tendon in his little finger, will not play in the Super Bowl. And many teams with a jinx, 18 straight losses, and lose a player of that quality, was said, oh no, here it comes again. But not this edition of the Patriots.
I think that's the area that we can rely on most as a successful area of Barry endeavor. He got them. He simply said, hey, we can overcome the obstacles. Ken Sims went down. He was playing the best football on the defense. He overcame that. Grogan went down with an injury. They overcame that. They overcame Fryer's absence here today.
Short yardage. I was looking through some old notes on Raymond Berry when he took the job last year, and they certainly apply. Berry said that his biggest coaching influence was his dad, Mark, there in Paris, Texas, and he said, I learned these things from my dad. Always believe you can win. 2, convince your players of their potential. 3, insist on balance, run, pass, kick, and special teams. Can you be more prophetic than that? That's exactly what he's done. Those were the words of Berry when he took the job as a so-called interim job a year and a half ago. Time's being spent by Miami. They've used 2 timeouts now. Boy, it's so tough to see it end, and I know you can relate to that, big guy.
Dick, I got awfully close to a championship day, or a championship opportunity in a Super Bowl. I lost twice in championship games against the Minnesota Vikings, and I can remember the crushing hollowness of walking off of that field and realizing that it had slipped away from you.
Like an artist building a big, beautiful pot, and you work and work for months and months and months, and then someone comes up and drops it on you and breaks it.
It's gone. It's gone, and there's bitterness, there's frustration. And I could look across on the other sideline and see that kind of celebration, and I was angry. I was always angry at the end of the game.
Dave Grogan.
You know what he's doing? He wants the Patriot fans here to get a little action of their own. You got to love him. He came back off a broken leg, put that uniform back on because he knew he might be needed. And he said, hey, I'm ready to play.
3rd and 3. And a first down would just about end things here. And Weathers has got it. And there's only one timeout left for Miami at the 35. Weathers, who had a 45-yard run in the first half that set up a touchdown. And now it's just a matter of watching the seconds tick away, and the Patriots have earned this right to celebrate on the sidelines.
Well, there were 10,000 people, didn't they say, waiting to meet them when they came home from Los Angeles? One has to wonder what it's going to be like when they come home from this victory.
74,978 were the attendance here today. About 1,000 people didn't use their tickets. Some of the Dolphin fans have left, but certainly not those who carry the red and blue of New England. Weathers. Well, if we have a moment, yes, let's acknowledge our Budweiser most valuable players for this championship game. Raymond Claiborne of the New England Patriots and his teammate on defense, linebacker Don Blackman. Budweiser will donate $1,000 to the United Way on behalf of those two defensive stars for the New England Patriots. They did shut down the Miami offense and made the big plays.
They are two of many that we could point to today. There's another.
Second down and 8. Mosi Tutupu, he has one of the touchdowns this afternoon. That was a team that has owner Billy Sullivan. I don't think Patrick is there yet. He's more or less banished to the stands after his post-game activities last week that drew a slap on the wrist. But the interview is on already, and we have 2:25 left. Miami spending its final timeout.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
An idea can happen anytime. And when you work for Hewlett-Packard, you don't just sell business computing systems, you solve problems. So when you have an idea, you do something about it. You never stop asking, what if?
You know that electronic mail project for the bank? What if we used HP Message in a customer
New England 31, Miami 14. The head man of the team has a chance to bask in the glory as well. 256 yards rushing for this Patriot offense today. Now, back-to-back games, playoff games, Miami's defense giving up too many yards on the ground, and now the Patriots will use up those 30 seconds. In fact, now it'll tick down to the 2-minute warning. He may be happiest of all. In fact, the younger players all saying, we love Julius Adams so much that, oh, would we like to give him a chance to go to a Super Bowl. The old man's going to get his chance.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes. 1984, Don Shula's Dolphins are tied with the Cowboys at 21-all with just 1:47 seconds left. Danny Marino out of the shotgun fires complete to Mark Clayton at midfield. Could this be Marino's record 48th TD pass, Mark Clayton's record 18th TD reception? The answer is yes. What a fantastic year for Clayton and the kid from Pittsburgh.
Glad we could get together. Oh, but we better hurry. Can't miss the concert.
Right.
Oh, no. We save our aluminum cans for the animal shelter. They raise money by recycling them.
What a nice idea. Say, what kind of dog is that?
A purebred aluminum retriever.
Aluminum retriever. Arf, arf, Harry.
Recycle. Buy beverages in aluminum cans. And recycle.
This is Bob Costas in New York, following the final gun. Stay with us for the post-game show. It's the Patriots and the Bears in the Super Bowl. Mike Ditka will join us live from Chicago. His thoughts on his second meeting of the year with New England. They played in Week 2. We'll also have Ahmad Rashad in the happy locker room of the New England Patriots. For the final moments, let's go back to Dick Enberg and Merlin Olsen at the Orange Bowl.
All right, Bob Costas, and of course everyone around the country already starting to anticipate 2 weeks hence, Super Bowl 20 in New Orleans, and we'll be pleased and proud to bring it to you here on NBC. Would you just, I'll tell you what, Raymond, we'll chip in, we'll throw in our booty here just to see you jump in the air once. Show me some emotion. Come on, you're almost going to go to the Super Bowl. His idea of getting emotional is to smile hard.
Well, I'm afraid there's not even a prayer here for these Dolphins.
On 4th down, Miami will get a final chance. They don't have a single man back. 11 men on the line of scrimmage. Now, Camarillo is going to see all of the Miami defense on this one. And it'll just roll. Played it just right. Didn't try to spiral it end over end, so he'd get the good kick down to the 14-yard line.
Dick, I had a chance to sit down and talk to Raymond Berry, and I said, are you having fun? And Raymond said, you know, he said that being the head coach of New England is kind of like being on a trip through the desert. He said most of it is hard work and it's difficult and you're out there all day long. And he said finally you come to an oasis and for a brief time you can drink deeply. And he said that's the best part of the job is those brief stops at the oasis. Well, last week there are palm trees in Los Angeles. They had that oasis there, and I believe looking out here there are some palm trees right outside the stadium. I think this might be the sweetest oasis that he's stopped at so far, and I got to tell you, inside, even though he's not showing us, he has to be bursting with joy.
This is some man. He was a 20th round draft pick by the Colts out of SMU. Talk about overachievers. He was slow, but he worked and worked on patterns, made himself a Hall of Fame record-setting receiver. Marino short again as down he goes under pressure. Both locker rooms will get a feeling from New England and Miami as well as Mike Ditka's feelings about his victory. Another shutout today against the Rams, and maybe some early thoughts on these New England Patriots. Turn it over 6 times, thinks Shula. Pretty tough to beat a good team, and New England has proved that.
At 6 rings a bell. That's exactly the number of turnovers committed by the Raiders last week. And I'll say what I said then. Forced errors. They're not unforced errors.
Tony Nathan using the umpire as a shield, and a little backyard play, and I believe that was a forward lateral, and Miami will be penalized. It was a forward pass beyond the line of scrimmage, and that's a penalty.
I believe it's a planned play.
Illegal forward pass, a 5-yard penalty. It'll still be enough for a first down after the measurement.
Marked off from the spot of the foul.
Bob Greasy, you know Shula best of all. What do you think we're going to hear from him in the next couple, 3 days?
I think he's going to be honest and upfront about it. He's going to say the Patriots beat him. Obviously, you can't put the ball on the ground, but I think he's going to have nothing but high praise for the job that Raymond Berry did and for the Patriots. They beat him fair and square.
He has a special place in his heart for Berry, doesn't he, Bob?
Well, and he always tells it the way it is. If he gets beat, he'll come out and say, hey, I got beat.
Marino had to throw it away because Garen Veras, that talented rookie defensive end, was on top of him.
Bob, a question for you. Miami's given up over 500 yards rushing in 2 weeks. Is Shula going to have to rebuild this defense?
Well, that's the same thing he said last year after he lost the Super Bowl. He said we weren't happy with our run defense. We're going to have to do it. But it's easier said than done. You go to the draft, and how do you get good players? He lost Baumauer coming into this year, and that was a big loss. But
Larry Gordon, too.
Larry Gordon and some other defensive players. So they still have the problem. They still can't stop the run, and it's still a problem that he needs to address in the offseason.
Triple right formation for Miami on 2nd and 10 from their 30. Trailing 31-14. Marino forcing it low and away again. Claiborne wearing his jersey right on Mark Duper. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman. The coordinating producer of NBC's football coverage and the director of today's game is Ted Nathanson. Today's game was produced by Larry Cirillo. Technical director Lenny Stucker. George Finkel, our ISO unit producer. John Gonzalez working as the director on that unit. ISO unit technical director Steve Semino. NFL 85 produced by John J. Filippelli. NFL 85 directed by Bucky Guntz. And their technical director in New York, Salvatore Nagita. I want to thank all of our help in the booth and Bob Greasy for joining us. Looking forward to our next step, the final championship Super Bowl in New Orleans 2 weeks from today. Andre Tippett pressuring, and it goes incomplete to Carter. The Lamar Hunt Championship trophy for the American Football Conference title. That will go in, well, if you'd have said back in the middle of the season, New England Patriots would be the American football champions, especially after a 2-3 start, you might have to run for cover. They would want to put a straitjacket on you. But Barry has brought this team together and made them believe, and they have certainly played to their talent. This is the last gasp, 4th and 10. To Duper. Knocked away by Marion. It's New England's ball. Oh, he's been a good player for him. Fred Marion all season long. 7 interceptions. Didn't make the Pro Bowl. I think the Patriots felt very badly about that, although 7 of his teammates will go to Honolulu. 3 games in the playoffs against 3 tough teams. Tony Eason, 69% completions. Conservative attack, albeit 5 touchdowns, no intercepts.
He has done exactly what Raymond Berry asked him to do. One has to wonder at how they will match up against the Chicago Bears. That's the New England locker room.
You saw for a moment Chuck Sullivan, the general manager. They call him John L. Sullivan in Boston. Raymond Berry with 45 seconds left.
And there was the smile we asked for. I wonder if he's ever been carried off the field.
I bet there were times Unitas wanted to.
I'll bet there were too.
Raymond Berry, the man in that maybe most famous of all NFL games, that sudden death championship game. He caught 12 passes.
You can sense even then the embarrassment. Almost embarrassed by that success, but loving every minute of it.
15 seconds left. Shula, who coached Berry his final 5 years as a Baltimore Colt, searching out his opposing coach today. Tremendous admiration these two men have for one another. One man will be in the Hall of Fame, Shula. That man's there as a player.
You see him looking for Coach Shula. There it was, the handshake between the two of them.
Jackie Gleason, longtime resident of Miami, one of their favorites down here, ran into him last night, and you can almost say, away we go is the story for the New England Patriots. They're on their way to New Orleans.
Dick, we said at the beginning of the broadcast, it was like a winner-take-all poker game. And indeed, the New England Patriots go home with all the chips.
They played their cards well. Lexington and Concord and Brockton and Foxborough and Boston and the fans who have supported this team and know the other end of the emotion. Today they can cheer with the New England Patriots. New England, champions of the American Football Conference.
A good idea by itself may go nowhere. It needs other good ideas. Technology from a company called TRW makes the most of ideas by helping them work together. And working together is the best idea in the world. Tomorrow is taking shape at a company called TRW.
What's this, tough guy? Aftershave skin conditioner. I know. I thought I was the only guy with sensitive skin. Every time I shave, I get it right here.
What do you fellas use? Because shaving irritates my whole face.
After. Try it. Looks different. It's rich. It's a lotion. After soothes razor scrape sensitive skin.
Hey, this feels great. And smells good, too. Terrific.
Sensible care for sensitive skin. Aftershave skin conditioner.
Fine Menon. So the Super Bowl matchup is set. You will see it 2 weeks from today, January 26th, from the Superdome in New Orleans on NBC. It begins with our pregame show at 3 Eastern Time. Super Bowl 20, an American celebration, the kickoff between the Patriots and the Bears shortly after 5 o'clock with Dick Enberg and Merlin Olsen. 31-14. New England ending all kinds of streaks. They go to the Super Bowl as a wild card team. Only one wild card team has ever won it. That was the Raiders a few years back. They also accomplished it in New Orleans. They end the long winning streak of the Dolphins at 8, and they snap the jinx that had gone back to 1966. They lost 18 in a row at the Orange Bowl. Not today. They dominated, taking the ball away from the Dolphins 6 times. Earlier today at Soldier Field in Chicago, the Bears fulfilled their destiny. They are in the Super Bowl, 24-0 over the Rams. It's the 4th shutout of the year for the Bears, and remarkably, in 18 games, they have held the opposition to 10 points or less 13 times. Let's go to Mike Ditka, who is standing by in Chicago. Mike, first of all, congratulations, and some thoughts on the New England Patriots, your opponent now in the Super Bowl.
Well, Bob, thank you. It's great to play the Patriots. We played them the 2nd game of the season, and we thought at that time they were the best football team we had seen on film coming out of the exhibition season defensively. And I think what Ray's done there is tremendous. They're a good football team with great balance, and I think they play the game the way it's supposed to be played. They don't do anything really spectacular. They just do what it takes to beat you, and I think that's a credit to him and his coaching staff.
Obviously, they hadn't hit their stride in week 2 when you played them, but you dominated them, winning 20-7, and it wasn't that close. 6 sacks, 4 takeaways.
Well, I think we caught them off balance, and I think it'll be a lot different football game this time. I think their running game is much different than it was earlier, and I think, you know, the maturity of Tony Eason, the quarterback, has really helped them. He's done a great job for them, and, you know, they really deserve to be there. I really feel that they're the best team in the American Football Conference. I'm sure that makes a lot of people mad, but that's what I feel.
There were some skeptics who said 2/3 of the way through the season, the Bears peaked, and they were ripe to be taken in the playoffs. No sign of that with the back-to-back shutouts.
Well, you don't know. You have to look hard and long to find those skeptics anymore, don't you?
Do you feel right now, at this point, that you are at your ultimate peak, or was there any time during the season when the Bears were playing better football?
I think we can play better on offense. I don't think we played well enough on offense today. We had a great output from our quarterback and our receivers, but we didn't do a good enough job in the running game. We must rush the football better if we're going to be successful, but our defense has really played exceptional football. We've had, you know, 11, 12, 13 guys on defense who have really gone out there and played hard, and I think what Buddy has done with the different schemes on defense is confused some people, and he's put a tremendous amount of pressure on the opposition. So it's just a matter of we can take something away from them, we can play them all tough.
Last question. Would it be fair to say there's a little bit of electricity and excitement around Chicago tonight?
It's a great city, and it deserves what's happening right now, and hopefully we can carry it all the way through.
Mike, thanks very much. We'll see you in New Orleans. The sound you hear in the background comes from the Patriot locker room. Let's go back down to the Orange Bowl.
All
All right, Bobby, in a happy locker room, the New England Patriots have done it. Now for the presentation for the AFC trophy, championship trophy by Lamar Hunt. Lamar?
Ahmed, thanks. In 1960, the Patriots joined 7 other renegades to form the American Football League. And now, 26 years later, that championship day has come for the Patriots. The last of those original 8, Bill, to win a championship of the old Americans. And I think so highly of this man. He's the guy that was the father of it. He nurtured it. He kept it alive all through the years. And it gives me a fantastic pleasure to present the AFC Championship Trophy to Bill Sullivan, to my friend Raymond Berry, and to the New England Patriots. Congratulations, Bill.
Congratulations, Mr. Sullivan. It had to be just a gratifying year for you this year.
Ahmed, I must say this, that if there's a happier man in the world than I don't know who he is. And I must thank God for all of his blessings, but particularly for bringing Raymond Berry, the loyalty of our fans, the loyalty of our family. 27 years old, Lamar Hunt founded the American Football League, and 27 years ago, he said, if you will have a $25,000 check on deposit at the Mercantile Trust Bank in Dallas by the close of business Tuesday, you own the 8th franchise. I had $8,300 to my name. I wasn't a football player, and I borrowed the rest, and we got the money there. And Lamar, it's very appropriate that you should present this, because if anyone represents the success of the league, it's a guy named Lamar Hunt.
All right, congratulations. Raymond, it just seems to me that it doesn't matter where you guys play. You've been on the road 3 weeks, and you just keep turning it up.
It's hard to believe this is all happening. We thought we could do it, but when it happens, it's still hard to believe. We have so much to be thankful for, and for Mr. Sullivan and Pat and Dick Steinberg, who get all these players here, and our coaching staff, and our football team, and our fans. It's hard to believe it's happening, but
yeah, you've come a long way. About a year and a half ago, this team was in disarray. You came in, everything settled down. A lot of confidence on this team now.
Yeah, they have played up to their capabilities, and I felt like I told them yesterday, all I was concerned about was playing like they can play, and I thought things would be all right. I think they played pretty good.
If they keep doing that, you'll have a Super Bowl trophy. All right, let's go upstairs to Dick, Merlin, and Bob.
Congratulations to Ray Berry. That's the kind of offense you used to run. 12 passes per season, 1, 2, and 4-yard touchdown passes.
They may not be able to do that against the Bears. The Bears are the #1 team in the National Football League against the run, so it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with.
They're going to make Easton throw longer than those 1, 2, and 4-yard touchdowns. What were your impressions, and how do you feel New England will stack up against that Bear defense?
Well, I think Papa Bear Hallis looking down from somewhere, and Coach Lombardi looking down has to be pleased, have to be pleased. Running game and great defense, those are the name of the game for the coming Super Bowl, and these are 2 teams that have done it best during the year. Traditional football at its best, and I think we can look forward to New Orleans.
Gee, if we only could have a contrast in coach's personality going into the Super Bowl. It'll be Mike Ditka and Raymond Berry, 2 former assistant coaches under Tom Landry. The Dallas Cowboys will meet 2 weeks from now in New Orleans, and we go to New York and Bob Costas.
All right, Dick, thanks very much, and we'll see you all in New Orleans. Quickly, Axe, the early line, Bears and Patriots.
Bears will be favored between 9 and 10 points.
They will be because you think that's what the line is likely to be out of Vegas, or because you think that's about right yourself?
That's what the line will be out of Vegas, and that's about right. Now, thankfully, we have 2 weeks to work on this, though, and figure out which side's going to be the right side.
All right, Pete, we'll see you on Bourbon Street. For Pete Axthelm, for Larry King, for Ahmad Rashad, who was in the locker room today at the Orange Bowl in Miami, and of course for Dick Enberg and Merlin Olsen, we thank all of you for being with us today on NFL 85, our coverage of the AFC Championship game. A reminder, 2 weeks from today, we begin with the pregame show, Super Bowl 20, an American celebration at 3 Eastern Time. The kickoff shortly after 5 Eastern Time, the Bears and the Patriots. Congratulations to both of those teams, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. You're not just flying, you're flying the friendly skies.
This has been a presentation of NBC Sports, proud to be the network of Super Bowl 20.